Yo, what is good, fam? Keezy here from Black Market, and I just wanted to demonstrate a couple of quick and dirty texturing tips using paper.zip. Let's go ahead and begin by just dragging in one of these textures and putting it into the canvas and just kind of scaling it into position. The first thing I'm going to show you, you probably already know this, but you can quickly get pretty much an instant cool subtle effect just by changing the blending mode to something like screen or multiply or difference. Now you can see that because of the crazy ass resolution we have here, we are able to kind of zoom in and scale and reposition this in all sorts of different ways and keep getting basically an unlimited amount of cool different crops and different texture backgrounds that we can use here. I think this particular cut actually looks really good, so I'm going to use it like so. And I just want to take this effect a step further by adding a curves adjustment to it. So with Command M, we can open up the curves menu, click to add a point, and just drag it down to darken up the image a little bit. We can click to add a second point and pull that one up to increase the highlights and get a high contrast, cool effect with it. Of course, we can still move around and reposition our paper texture and get something different. And a lot of people really are just going for a subtle, cool, texture in the background, but they don't really want it to look like paper. And the beauty of this pack is that the resolution is so high. You can take those crops. You can take a crop of just a tiny little section with one little crack and really get whatever detail you want without losing resolution. Let's go ahead and check out another tip here. Let me drag in another texture and show you what you can do with threshold. So if I bring this texture in and I just scale it up, and I were to take this piece and I want to cut it out of my design here, I could do that with threshold. So I'm going to go image, adjustment, threshold, and just adjust it until I get something kind of cool, kind of sharp, something like that. I like that. And then I want to actually Command I to invert that, and I'm going to lower the opacity so I can line it up a little bit better. I can Command T to open up the transform tool and rotate my object and press enter. And now this is going to sort of cross over the texture there. I'm going to increase the opacity back to 100, create a new mask on my artwork layer here, and then go back and select color range, white, click OK, and then hide it, come back to my mask, and then just using a brush, paint in here to hide my logo in that area. And now we're getting this cut out, cool paper effect with it there as well. Of course, there is more that can be done. Another thing that we can do with this is create a displacement map. And so the way I'm going to do that is by putting our paper back on normal blend mode. And then, actually for this effect, I'm going to move it a little bit. So I'm going to lower the opacity and move it so we have one of these nice folds on the paper there. And I'm going to use the shortcut Control-Alt-Shift-E to duplicate everything onto its own layer. I'm going to blur it with filter, blur, Gaussian blur, maybe 5, 10 pixels, something like that. And then I'm going to open up levels with Command L, pull the output level from black to, 50 or 60, and then save this out as a displacement map PSD on the desktop somewhere because I'm lazy. And then go back to our artwork, make sure that it is a smart object or a rasterized image so that the displacement map can take effect, and then go filter, distort, displace, and then drag or grab our displacement map. And you will see now what is happening is that the displacement map is kind of warping our image in a way that it thinks it should kind of fit the curved paper. It's a subtle effect, but it does sometimes add that little extra something that you're looking for. One final last thing I want to show you is that you can actually quickly add your own text and artwork to these things without even needing to have it in mock-up form. So if you're just trying to grab something and go. The easiest way to blend your artwork with these paper textures is just to double click on the side of it, open up the layer style panel, and drag this underlying layer and just take it from the left kind of to the middle, and you'll notice it starts to hide it. And then alt click on the handle and just drag each point individually, and you can blend your artwork with the paper texture beneath and really get a super realistic printed on paper looking effect without a whole lot of work. That is it, guys. A couple quick and dirty texturing tips from yours truly. If you enjoyed this video unedited and raw, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to support Black Market, I would suggest doing so by purchasing our new paper pack and checking out some of these tips for yourself. Thank you so much. Peace out, guys.